For decades, this crime was buried, hidden behind closed doors, whispered about only in shadows. What you're about to hear was hidden from the world, until now. And what we uncovered next changes everything. It began with a simple disappearance. A woman, ordinary in every way, vanished one night without a trace. Neighbors claimed they heard muffled cries from her apartment, but the authorities dismissed it as nothing more than domestic squabbles. Yet, as time passed, pieces of a much darker puzzle started to emerge. The first clue came from an old, forgotten journal found in a dusty storage locker. Its pages were filled with frantic handwriting, cryptic warnings, and mentions of someone who watched, someone who knew more than anyone should. Who could have imagined the truth hiding in plain sight? The entries described a life under constant surveillance, the subtle threats, the manipulation, and the fear that no one else seemed to see. Then came witness accounts that made the hairs on the back of investigators' necks stand on end. A neighbor, long thought unreliable, came forward, recalling strange visitors late at night. Men and women who arrived quietly, left quietly, and always with the same expressionless calm. They said nothing, but their presence spoke volumes. And when photos surfaced showing the missing woman in the company of people she shouldn't have trusted, it became clear. This was no random crime. It was orchestrated, but that's not even the worst part. Hidden cameras were found in the apartment. Tiny, almost invisible, footage that revealed movements, conversations, and secrets that painted a picture far more terrifying than anyone had imagined. The people who promised protection were the very ones responsible. And the story takes an even darker turn. Documents surfaced next, emails, contracts, and unsigned confessions, implying a conspiracy that reached far beyond a single apartment, far beyond the city itself. Everything you thought you knew about this case is about to change. The woman's disappearance was not the end, it was only the beginning. If you want to see what they tried to hide next, stay tuned. Because the truth behind this crime is buried in layers, each more shocking than the last. No one could explain what happened next. The investigation led to a series of hidden rooms that no one knew existed. Behind false walls and locked doors, detectives found evidence that was almost impossible to comprehend. Personal belongings of the missing woman, objects placed in eerie, ritualistic patterns, and notes that suggested she had been closely monitored, perhaps even controlled, for months before she vanished. Who could have orchestrated such a meticulous plan, and why? Then came the testimonies that made even seasoned detectives uneasy. Former employees of the building reported strange behavior by the landlord. They spoke of locked basements, unaccounted for deliveries, and whispers of a system designed to keep certain residents in check. And the chilling part? No one had questioned it, until now. What we found next will leave you speechless. The timeline began to unravel, revealing that this was not just a personal vendetta. It was a network of manipulation and deception. Bank records, hidden receipts, and untraceable payments suggested multiple people were complicit. Even more disturbing, some of those implicated held positions of trust, people who were supposed to protect, not prey. And yet, the deeper the investigators dug, the more they realized the scale of the betrayal. But the most horrifying revelation came from forensic analysis. Evidence suggested that the missing woman had been held captive within the building itself, perhaps in one of those hidden rooms, for weeks. The signs were subtle: disturbed dust, faint fingerprints, traces of meals, but together, they painted a story too dark to ignore. Everything you thought you knew about safety, about trust, was a lie. The twist came when authorities uncovered a network of communication. Secret messages, coded and carefully hidden, detailed every movement, every interaction, every plan. The missing woman had been reporting, documenting, resisting, yet her cries for help were buried beneath layers of deception. No one could have imagined the depths of this hidden crime. And the final shock? The very people who claimed to care for her had turned a blind eye. Some actively facilitated her suffering, covering tracks, erasing evidence, and creating alibis. And yet, despite all this, traces remained, clues that would finally expose the truth. The truth has been buried for decades, but now it's finally coming to light. And the next revelation will change everything you thought you knew. Check the next episode to uncover more shocking truths, and support me in the description. Subscribing keeps you on the front line of every hidden story.